What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the One-on-One series presented by Fandom's Anonymous. Man, I got a very special guest, man. My main man. We go way, way back, all the way to 2005, Murphy High School, Mobile, Alabama. Stand up. I got my man Gary Wallace on the line today. What am I saying? The line. What's up, Gary? What's going on?
What's up, Malcolm? Hey, for folks that don't know, I am Levon Gray. Gary Wallace, that's my government name, but when you see my music, I'm Levon Gray.
Levon Gray.
Yes.
That's what's up, man. And that's what we're here to talk about today. If you haven't been following the One-on-One series, we haven't had a new episode lately, I'm going to fill you in on why. Because now I have full-blown internet. I ran out of hotspot on my phone, so I couldn't produce like I want to. So we got full-blown internet. Shout out to the internet provider that I have. I have internet. I'm so excited. So we're going to get right into it, man. I have known Gary for over 10 years, ever since we were freshmen in high school at Murphy High School. We were both in the band. We both played tuba, some of the greatest times we ever had. We went on trips with the band, all type of stuff. But one thing I have always known about Gary is that he has always been into music. The man can play, he can sing, he can dance. He can act, he can jump rope, he can skip, he can swim with sharks. Gary can do just about anything. Gary's always been multi-talented over the years. Gary, when we were coming up in high school for little birthdays and Valentine's Day and stuff, I would always get Gary to come sing to whatever girl I was crushing on. I'm like, Gary, I want you to come sing to girl my third period, third block. The girl I like. Gary was like, gotcha, show up. Girl be like, oh, Lord, he sung to me. I was like, but it was for me, though. But we used to have fun. Gary, talk to us about your love for music. Let's give insight, because what the One-on-One series is about is that there are millions of people all over the world who want to do certain things, who want to do stuff like music, who want to talk about music, who want to grow and develop in music. What is it about your love for music?
I mean, honestly, music is just like being that constant thing, music, God, and family, honestly. I mean, that's three things that just never changed. I was always there, and music from a very young age it was my happy place. It still is my happy place. I'm never happier than when I'm on stage singing, performing, and I wouldn't call it an escape or a coping mechanism. It's just part of who I am, and to me, it's as natural as breathing. I mean, just yesterday, in fact, a rapper sent me a beat. He said, I want you to write a hook for it. And I said, I ain't going to get off until I'm at work at Metro PCS, right? I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do nothing until I get off at 5. I'll probably send you something by 5:30. He's like, oh, that's pretty quick. I sent him something maybe 20 minutes after I got off the phone with him. And he was like, word? And, it's just easy to me. I can sit and write a song in 15 minutes maybe. It's just depending on, whatever inspiration I have. But I can make music from anything, and I think that's just, a blessing, a talent from God. And he knew that that's what it would take for me to be happy, for me to feel fulfilled. Music has to be there.
And music is definitely a part of all of us. Like I said, I'm a real deal band head. I used to write a little song here and there, write a little poem here and there, but me, I'm a band head. I played tuba in the band at Alabama State. Like I said, me and Gary, we both played tuba back in our Murphy High School days. Those were some very, very, very fun times. And like I said, I've always known you, Gary, to always be into music. Me and Gary have this song, man. It's just our favorite song. We took a trip to the band in Washington, D.C. back when we were freshmen in high school, and there was this music video that came on one night in the hotel room, and it was just so awe-inspiring. It was just one of the greatest things that we've ever seen. It was a local artist in the D.C. area, and he had a music video called Pimp in the City.
Oh, man.
Man, I bet everybody was like, I was looking for something monumental. And it's a joke that we have carried on for over 10 years. It was a very hilarious. Like I said, we had a lot of good times when it came to music, especially being in the band. And one thing that Gary did, he was always in the choir, performing, doing things of that nature. But one thing that I know that you always also do is you're a worship leader at your church. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah, man. From the first time I really picked up a microphone was in church. I mean, any musician, especially any African-American musician or singer, usually has their start in a local church. And it's just kind of the first place somebody actually give us a platform. And, and it was like, I started singing in church as a young child, of course, but when I was a freshman in high school, I started singing on the worship team in my church. And it really just helped me to understand, stage presence, how to communicate effectively on a stage, and making sure, I don't have my eyes closed the whole time, that I'm not moving around too much, and, just certain things. It just kind of showed me the ropes, and that's just performance-wise. But on a spiritual level, it's an honor. I get to be a part of people that are, connecting to the Most High at that moment. I get to help guide them into that flow, and help to create an atmosphere in which is more conducive to people wanting to hear from God, wanting to open up. So it's an honor, and it's a big responsibility too, but I thank God that I get the opportunity to do it.
What would you say that your journey has been like, from growing up in church to coming through the choir and all of that through high school, and after high school? How has that journey been for you, music-wise, inspirational-wise?
And honestly, I kind of gave up on it, man. I felt like, sometimes God will show you the big picture or tell you a certain couple of steps, and the rest he gives you in his time. The Bible says steps that are righteous are ordered of the Lord, not the leaps and the jumps and the skips and the back pedals. So when I was 19, 20, I was just praying about a next step, and all I saw was go to University of Mobile and lead worship at Harvest Church. I somehow came to the conclusion that was all God wanted for me, even though that's not anything I wanted for myself. Of course, I wanted to lead worship, but it wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I went to school and I got a worship leadership degree from the University of Mobile, and I don't regret that time. I mean, I was a part of a traveling ensemble called Impact. We went around churches all over the Southeast. It was a great experience. I got to see what life was like sleeping on a tour bus that actually had the beds in the tour bus. I got to go to different cities and meet different people, and my favorite part of that was being able to not just being with some very good musicians and worship leaders, but I got a chance to hug everybody's neck after every time we sang somewhere. Like I got to meet people, and that's what really kind of made that light bulb go off. I love music because I think music is one of the most simple ways to connect people. And so through that, I continued to work at my church. I ended up becoming the ordained worship pastor of my church. And, I've been leading worship for over 10 years now, and I don't ever plan on stopping altogether. But I got to a point where I got pretty depressed, and I've been married for a couple of years, so there were issues that, especially in that first year of my marriage, on top of feeling just this emptiness and realizing, I wrote a song here and there every now and then and performed at some open mics, if somebody asked me to do a wedding, but I never really, besides I had a weekly gig at a restaurant, and that I didn't make a whole lot of money, but I felt like, well, that was good enough. And it got to the point where that restaurant went under and I lost that job because I wasn't trying to get anything else. So it wasn't until actually, and this is in the past 3 months, 3 or 4 months. I noticed that I realized my little brother, he was heavy in the streets for years. I mean, from a very young age, known thug in the streets, you know, selling certain things, doing certain things. He ended up going to jail. But while he was in jail, he wrote a book. And if you're on Facebook, especially if you're friends with black people on Facebook, even with white people on Facebook, you're going to see this boy with his book. And it's called 90s Baby. And I saw my brother get out of jail with a completely different mentality. My little brother wakes up, reads, he meditates, he prays, and he's read more books than me. And he didn't even really finish high school. And he had motivation because he had found a purpose. And me, I thought I found my purpose, but I didn't even want to get up out of bed in the mornings. And I saw him, I'm like, and I realized he was chasing after a dream, after his own dream. His dream was to write a book that was going to touch people's lives and be able to sell it worldwide. And I just decided, I said, you know what, if my little brother, who didn't even finish high school, he got his GED, by the way, just so it's not like I'm putting him down. I respect that.
Right.
If he can do this, then I can do something I've been working at for years and actually get serious about it. And I met with a couple of people. One guy in particular named Philip Baggins, folks know him as Phil J. I said, look, man, how do I get started? What do I need to do? What do I need to be prepared for? Because I really want to do this music. That's what I want to do with my life. I know that's what I want. And he was like, just be prepared for some sleepless nights. And so after that meeting with him, that very first night, the night I went home that night, I stayed up to probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning writing Chosen, which is the actual video that I released on Facebook and YouTube this past week. And Chosen was going to be a throwaway. I wasn't even going to do anything with it, but it was the first song out of 4 or 5 that I've recorded over the last couple of months. And I've wanted to record a music video for it for promo purposes, but I had no idea that people would like it so much. So just within a week, it has about 5,000 views, and most of them within the first 2 days. I didn't really push it much. I just shared it and just wanted to see what people thought about it, and people really liked it. People, got over 100 shares from people I didn't even know. And so I'm like, okay. So I dropped it on iTunes last week. I don't have my sales reports or anything, but, I dropped another single as well. It just was encouraging to know that what I've been working toward, people are noticing. And I just, I know, and I tell everybody, in 3 years, everybody's going to know my name. Not for the sake of knowing my name, but just because I know that I have the drive, I have the talent, and I've been called to do this. And, I don't plan on going nowhere but up from here. And everything I dreamed of, I'm going to have, which is, really my dream is just to make music that will reach around the world, that not only entertains people but inspires them too. So, yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Now, one thing I'm hearing in what you just said, it's a word that spans across these interviews that I do for the one-on-one series. And the word is never said verbally, but it's implied. And when the person that's being interviewed is talking about their passion or what they're doing, and it's the word consistency. What would you say about the word consistency?
Man, consistency is everything, because had I been consistent before, I will admit, man, I've been a very lazy person most of my life up until recently. I'm working about 4 jobs now trying to chase after my dream, and it took me a long time to get to that point. And what I will say, had I been consistent from the time I was 16 working on, because I've been writing songs since I was a child, and not just because they were my own, but they were pretty decent songs. And had I continued working at that craft, just pushing them out and making connections and performing whenever I got the opportunity. I turned down opportunities to work with people that are making some pretty big moves now. And because I just didn't feel like it. I didn't really think it would be worth it. And, you know, had I chased those opportunities and taken advantage of what I thought was really what would have really helped me, man, I would probably be talking to you from a mansion right now. But, you know, I'm still blessed. I'm talking to you from a house. So it's, you know, consistency, the lack of my own consistency and drive is the reason I'm not any further. It's the reason where I am today. And, you know, I've heard Les Brown and different motivational speakers say this, that you are exactly where you want it to be right now. What you're doing, where you're working, what you're doing, who you're with, you're exactly the person that you wanted to be or the person that you thought you could be. And when I think of that, it hits home. So I'm like, am I who I want to be yet? No. So I'm working towards it.
And you have to be consistent. Where I am now with my YouTube channel, I've only been running about 4 months total. No, it's been December 28th, January, February, March, April. Yeah, we've been running 4 months. And I've been in this industry or community for almost 3 years now, but me on my own, and I have to stay consistent. I have to make videos. I have to get the word out there because there are people watching. And just a small period of time, I got over 10,000 views. I'm over 15,000 views now, and YouTube just approved my channel to be monetized. So it's something that's going to bring in revenue, and it's something that I enjoy. You have to be consistent in everything that you do. If not, it will all fall apart. Even on my everyday job that I have, I have to stay consistent in order to continue to grow and move on to the next level. You know, it's so much you can do out here in this world. You just have to choose what it is that you want to do and do it well. You know, don't choose something because somebody told you. Don't choose something because it looked good on TV. Choose something, or don't choose something because your best friend is doing it and you want to be close to them. Choose something that you know that you can do and do it well. One other question I want to ask you is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I know you said you want to be in a mansion, you want your name to be known, but what type of goals and ambitions and projects do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years?
Well, like I say, it ain't, you know, my goal ain't for everybody to know my name, but in order for my music to sell, folks going to have to know who I am, right? So I do believe that in the next 5 years, I have what you call a vision board. And I got mine too. I wrote on my vision board, you see the picture of the house I want. You see the picture of the family I want. You see the picture of my car I want. I got a picture of Bruno Mars holding a Grammy. I got a picture of an artist in front of a sold-out Madison Square Garden crowd. Picture of you know, platinum albums, like Ed Sheeran's multi-platinum album. And, you know, I have a picture of Taylor Swift's 1989 tour bus because that was a huge tour, earned a lot of revenue. And, you know, I want to be there. You know, I want to be doing it, man. And it's not like for the riches or anything. No, I just want to be performing at that level to where I know any country I went to in the world, I could get booked for a show. You know what I mean? And I see myself living in the house that I want to live in the next 5 years. I see myself with a platinum album, at least one by then. I see myself, you know, and mine and my wife's relationship healthier. And I'm just taking the steps to get there. And, you know, within 5 years, by 5 years from now, I still want to be hungry. I still plan to be saying, okay, what's for the next 5 years? You know what I mean? I never want to get to the point where I feel like I've arrived, because I don't want to be comfortable or complacent, because that's what I've been for 25 years. And, you know, now I'm just trying to catch up and make up for lost time.
And it's like it's something we have to do. We have to stay hungry. We have to stay motivated to continue to do what we're supposed to do in life. Like you said, we're both married. And like I said, you guys, me and Gary go way back. I couldn't picture us sitting in vans back in 2005 cracking jokes, and then look at us 10 years later and we're both married and working and doing stuff. We couldn't have pictured this, especially with the type of jokes that we were cracking. We didn't see ourselves here. We could run a whole Dave Chappelle skit from beginning to end. But now we're married and talking about dreams and talking about things that we want to do in life. And that's what's supposed to happen. I think I had a pivotal moment in the year 2015. I was approaching 25. Like you said, hitting that mark where it's like, okay, what am I going to do now? Where am I going to go now? And on my vision board, I started writing certain things down. I said I wanted to be a permanent employee. I started out at a job at state. I went from grocery stores to department stores to State Farm, and that didn't work out like I wanted it to. And I wound up at a call center of all places, working for Sprint. And of course, when you work at a call center, you come in under a temp agency. And at that time, I was going through some things in life, and I said, I need to stay focused. One of my goals is I want to become a permanent employee, become a salaried employee, and I did it. And now I want to go to the next level in the company that I work in, but I still want to do other things. So we have to get grounded. We have to get grounded and rooted. First of all, we have to pray and get grounded and rooted in the Lord, because He's going to guide us. All these things that we say that we want to do, He hears us, but it's all in His timing. That's one thing that we got to make sure that we understand. What's your take on that?
No, one thing I believe, and I hear my pastor say this all the time, he says, a lot of time we waiting on a move of God, but God's waiting on a move of man. And, like with this music, I had the potential to be doing what I'm doing for years, but I wasn't serious about it. I wasn't a great steward of that. And like the parable of the talents, the one that hid his talents and buried it. For a long time, I was a guy who hid the talent and buried it. And now, just talking about, I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. That basically, it's based on Scripture. Everybody talks about it, but it's really the word of faith Scripture, which says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." And if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. I believe that everything you see right in front of you existed in somebody's mind first.
Right.
And so the person you want to be can exist in your mind first, and just use the tools that God equipped you with to reach towards that goal. And that's when consistency comes into play, because anybody can be really excited for a week, and then if nothing happens for you, what, you going to quit? And that's where a lot of people, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you get 10 years down the road, you ain't where you wanted to be. And you still, are you going to quit? I mean, look at people like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey did not make it. How old is he? He's about 60-something years old now, just now in the prime of what he's doing. So it's really just not giving up, man. And I see that now. So I'm really just, I'm honored and I'm humbled to be getting there.
And that's definitely what we have to do. That's definitely what we have to do. But Gary, I really do appreciate you coming on the one-on-one series today, having the opportunity to interview, man. It's awesome. Guys, this interview could have been done ages ago, but we had almost an hour-long conversation before the interview, just catching up, and laughing and joking about the times we had back in the day. We're definitely going to have you on again and have you working with some other stuff. We're definitely going to be plugging you. So what I always like to do is give people the opportunity to plug who they are and what they do. So let us know where we can find you, links, channels, descriptions. Let us know all that information right now.
Okay, yeah. Go to I just started my YouTube page. It's Levon Gray, LEVONGRAY. Check out my YouTube channel. I got probably 2-3 videos on there, including Chosen, which started from my Facebook page. And You can find me on Facebook at Levon Gray Music, and on IG, Levon_Gray, all lowercase. And that's where you can find me right now. If you want to email me, LevonGrayMusic@gmail.com.
Most definitely, guys. You know who we are. We're Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMS We're all over social media. We're right here on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for notifications for future videos. Also, follow us over there on Facebook in the Facebook group. Join the discussions that we have each and every single day. And hit the like on the Facebook fan page as well. Go over there to Instagram where we're at Fandoms_Anonymous17. And over there at Twitter where we're at Anonymous_Fan17. We got a lot of new stuff coming up on the channel. A lot of new reaction videos. A new episode of Fandom Talk is coming out this week. Coming out this evening, actually. So take a look out for that. A lot of new stuff. We're doing a lot of different things in the Fandoms Anonymous world coming to you from all different angles. But, guys, as I always say, if there is anything else, thanks for watching and have a good one.
I got this to say to you. Girl, I wanna make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry, I'm gonna push it some more. Girl, I wanna make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry, I'm gonna push it some more. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ooh yeah. La 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 la. La 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 la. So I say to myself, if she loves